Hello everyone, it's Khalif bringing you another Guild Wars 2 video. This time around I wanted to switch it up and I'm playing a Necro, a condition-based Necro. This is actually the very first time I'm playing a Necro, and this is the very first time I'm playing this build. I literally made this build right before this stress test, and I was like, you know what, let me try it out and see how it works out. Overall, the build is pretty strong. It's fun to play, and again, yeah, it wasn't bad for my first time. I did a couple things wrong, and it's largely because I wasn't used to this playstyle, used to this skill format. I was kind of, I've been playing Thief since Beta Weekend 1, and because of that, I'm not really used to cooldowns. I'm not really used to, like, more importantly, more than cooldowns, I'm not used to, I guess, the situational skills. Each skill has a situational component attached to it, and playing this Necro, I wasn't used to the Necro's version of skills, when the best time to use those skills. One thing I want to point out here is this trebuchet that's raping us. For those of you that play on this map, Battle for Kylo, you can actually avoid the trebuchets. If you just got to be really useful and avoiding it. So I revived this guy, but unfortunately we get hit by the trebuchet and he goes down, but not before we kill this player. And right there he's gonna go down because the trebuchet is gonna hit him, and the trebuchet does a lot of damage. I'm gonna try and revive him before that trebuchet hits. I failed that one round, but I'm able to dodge out of this one. You can see right there, evaded. So you can pretty much, you get your evasion window is about, I would say, 2 seconds, give or take. So if you play it smart, you can avoid it. I'm gonna go ahead and go to the trebuchet to kind of get it destroyed, because that's been raping us in the middle control point, and you don't want to let the trebuchet go. And pretty much the trebuchet can hit all control points, especially if you get one that a player that's pretty good at controlling trebuchet. The one thing I want to point out about this build, the build right now that I'm using, it's a lead build. Well, it's actually more of a condition build rather than just lead. It is scepter, dagger on one of the weapons, and his staff on the other. The staff skills kind of play like traps. It's actually really fun. You basically put these things called marks on the ground, and when an opponent triggers these marks, they do multiple things. Most of them have like a beneficial aspect to it for your teammates. Like one of the marks does regeneration on allies that are near it, and another one, I believe, puts protection, and so forth and so forth. So in terms of comparing the Necro versus Thief, it's tough to say who is better. The Thief definitely is able to put more stacks of bleeding than the Necro. However, the Necro build, it's AoE bleeds, a lot of AoE. I think pretty much except for one skill, every single one of my conditions is an AoE condition, and if they're not AoE, I have a skill number 8 on my bar that basically makes all my conditions AoE. So it offers much more group control, so in World versus World it's much better than the Thief in terms of spreading out conditions, as well as it offers a little bit more group-oriented skills that kind of benefit the group overall, like again the one that brings regeneration. In one-on-one situations, it's tough to say. I think the Thief kind of definitely outshines one-on-one, especially because a lot of his bleeding is single target, and you can put multiple versions of that bleed really fast.
Enemy captured the mansion.
One thing I want to point out here is, so I'm looking at this situation that I'm in right now, and I realized that the shortest path to this control point is going to be just to the left of these boxes. So I'm going to go ahead and switch to my staff and put down all these quote-unquote traps, aka the marks, down, hoping that it's going to trigger. And it turns out to be, I guessed right. They took the shortest path, and they get a lot of conditions on them. Again, this is my first time playing this build, so I mess up a lot. It's kind of because I'm not used to the muscle memory in terms of how each fight goes, and as well as I'm not sure off the top of my head what each skill does. Ideally, what you would do in this build is you would put all the conditions on your target, as well as there's a couple skills like skill number 7 that puts conditions on yourself. What you would do is you would put all the conditions on your target, and then you put conditions on yourself, and then you use skill number 4 on Scepter, which is I think like Send Plague or something like that, that basically transfers 3 conditions from you to your targets being the plural. So what you do is you put all the conditions on them, you put conditions on yourself, and then transfer whatever conditions you have of yourself to your targets. As well as right after that, you would use skill number 3. Skill number 3 does decent amount of damage, but what the shining moment of skill number 3 is that it does more damage depending on how many conditions you have on your target. So again, there's a lot of situations where I use skill number 3 and skill number 4 without having the optimal situation built up around it. I use it a lot of times when I don't have that many conditions on the target, and so but again, that's largely attributed to me this being the first time I played the class. Overall, I am very happy with the Necro. I think it's really fun to play, and we'll definitely be rolling one come launch, which is in 2 days, surprisingly. One thing I want to point out and I want to mention is I wasn't really, so this elite skill, I had no idea what it was doing. I still don't know what it does. I think it like you put conditions on yourself and you transfer conditions to people around you, from what I able to gather. So again, this was the shittiest time to use my elite because there was only one other player there. So yeah, that's me messing up because again, first time playing, so forgive me. What I was gonna say was about the Scepter. One thing that I didn't really like about the Scepter wasn't really, it was more of a personal issue, was I didn't seem to see any form of projectiles. So I'm used to playing Thief, Guardian, Elementalist, whatever, and all those ones, whenever you used a range skill, you had a projectile that you saw, so you could actually see the projectile and hitting the player. For some reason in the Necro one, I didn't see it. Maybe I was blind. I didn't see it, and so I was hitting there. I'm like, I wasn't sure if I was hitting the player or not, or what was going on. That one, it was kind of hard to get used to, but it wasn't too bad in terms of play. I go down here, but luckily I put enough bleeds on that guy that I am able to come back up. So I'm dangerously close to going down. And that was another thing, I had no idea what my down skills were. And I know one of the skills by playing Necros, that one of them was the Fear, but I had no idea which one it was. And here's a moment where the Necro really shines. I can put all my skills that I use, all these skills that I'm using, it's ground targeted AoEs. So I'm able to kind of stay at a distance and put down these bleeds and conditions to kind of control the control point. Whereas the Thief, if I want to put down an AoE condition, I need to go into the middle of the chaos and put caltrops down. The Necro kind of offers me the ability to stay at far and use my conditions. On topic of playing a little bit better, I think I would have definitely changed out skill number 9, Spectral Grasp, for Blood is Power. Blood is Power basically puts 40 seconds of bleeding, 3 stacks of bleeding for 40 seconds on your target, and puts 3 stacks of bleeding for 10 seconds on yourself. So again, speaking of the skill number 3 from Scepter, I'm gonna grab Bloodless Power, put Bloodless Power on my target, and then transfer that bleeding off to the target as well. So I basically get 6 stacks of bleeding just with one skill. So that's one thing that I think come launch I'll be changing out. But overall, this build plays really well. I came in second in this match, really not that bad for first time play. And I personally think I played like shit. I didn't use skill number 8, which is a really awesome skill. It basically converts all your skills all your conditions rather to AoE. And so I didn't use that as much as I should have. But overall, I think Thief is definitely very strong in terms of playing and sustaining and putting kind of pressure on your opposition. And I really want to try it out in World versus World to see how well these AoE conditions